What's going on, everybody? Supervillain Gaming here, and today I'm pleased to be bringing you some MTG Arena gameplay. Today we're going to be looking at Jund with a little bit of a unique splash of blue for Nicol Bolas, so that is quite a bit of fun. But this is going to be some information about Jund in the post-banning of Standard. So we have a pretty familiar setup with our Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven combo. We have Gilded Goose to produce some of those additional food tokens, and Trail of Crumbs to serve as our card draw engine. Another bit of a unique choice is we have a Fiend Artisan, which can be useful in a number of different ways. Kind of just something that I'm trying in the deck, but it has certainly been useful. Murderous Rider still in here is some excellent creature or planeswalker removal. The Mayhem Devil is really the star of the show. I have Questing Beasts, which can really surprise our control players, or be the difference in breaking a stalemate with an aggro deck as well. Vraska, extremely solid, and Massacre Girl as our creature removal. Already mentioned Nicol Bolas, who is just devastating if we're able to actually get him out, and we have a pretty good selection of mana fetchers and things like that to facilitate that, because he's extremely mana intensive. We have a Liliana and a pair of Casualties of War and an Ugin. So a lot of heavy stuff at the top end of the curve, as well as Beanstalk Giants to kind of bring out those basic lands. And the deck does feature 25 basic lands, exactly what I thought, as Castle Lochthwain standing out as one that can do something a little bit special there with the card draw. But alright friends, that said, let's go ahead and jump into a game. Alright, so I like it. This is a good hand. We have Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven both in our hand. That is terrific. So Cauldron Familiar coming out first. We can have Mayhem Devil on turn 3 or Beanstalk Giant. Aggressive card selection from our opponents. We're going to get our Witch's Oven down, so they are already on the clock, just like that. And all this main phase card draw leads me to believe that perhaps they do not have all the land that they would like to have. But if we're able to land Mayhem Devil next turn, that will be devastating. Alright, and some more goodies. We definitely need our forest down. I think that I fear the counter magic here, so we are going to attempt Beanstalk Giant, because I'm a lot less concerned if that gets countered, but don't want him to counter our Mayhem Devil, and I'm thrilled if it doesn't get countered, so that is great. We probably not time yet to bring the island out. I think that we will go ahead and grab that third swamp first. And looks like we're just going to be swinging, do our sacrifice thing, but we have really accelerated here. It'll be real nice when we get Trail of Crumbs out as well. That'll be the next thing that we'll try and sneak down. And really, we have all the pieces of our combo plus a Liliana, so... And it's Wilderness Reclamation. I don't like that. We know what they're going to try and do to us, so it is really a race. And don't think that they run a whole bunch of counter magic typically, so we'll just see. Alright, and we want Trail of Crumbs and Mayhem Devil, so go for Trail of Crumbs first. That's what I guess we really want the Mayhem Devil, but again, I don't think that they run counter magic. They may have card draw. They need their combo pieces. Yep, they found the ops this game. And they are digging. So we do have the land advantage. And they are gonna bounce on us, but that is okay. We're gonna keep things moving. You do a whole lot of extra stuff. A whole lot of extra stuff before we actually let it get bounced. We will whittle their life total away fairly significantly. Maximize that. We do leave ourselves open a little bit here with our Witch's Oven tapped. Oh, Escape to the Wilds is spicy, although it looks like mostly a miss. They do get a Brazen Borrower and a Wilderness Reclamation. And looks like they're going to be playing it all next turn, so that Wilderness Reclamation is really what they needed, I'm afraid. That doesn't really do it for us. So I think that we are going to have to get our Mayhem Devil back out, and that's really all that we're going to be able to do. I guess I'm just going to play this land untapped, though, because I want all the extra mana for Trail of Crumbs as possible. Hey, Bayou. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? We are doing well. All done with MSF and on to some MTG Arena. And that will do it. Okay, well, they have a Brazen Borrower. We're going to shoot it for 1, so they can buy themselves 1 life with that. And again, each time that we sacrifice a food, we're going to be paying 1 mana to have the opportunity to get another card. Looking at the top 2 with our Trail of Crumbs, so as I said, that is our card draw engine. And we are going to be very close to killing them next turn. They don't have any creatures or planeswalkers, so we'll just go ahead and snag that land. And we'll go ahead and go. Another Witch's Oven is a great draw. Alright, so that is our 7. Go ahead and drop out Liliana. Play Witch's Oven. And I think we can do it right here. Yeah, so we're gonna start drawing cards, making them lose life, and they're gonna scoop it up. Alright, so we do get a nice showing there. Gonna jump right back in for another game. Alright, and we will be able to get black mana with our Fabled Passage, as well as start off with a Gilded Goose, so this is actually a relatively strong opening hand, despite the fact that we don't have our Cauldron Familiar or Witch's Oven just yet. The early Vraska is very strong, almost no matter what we're playing against. And that can be used very well to sacrifice food tokens after we have Trail of Crumbs out and our opponent mulligans, so that's gonna help out. They will likely have to deal with a little bit of adversity themselves. Knight of the Ebon Legion, okay. Well, happy to say that I have Trail of Crumbs. So we are gonna be paying that. Whoops, paying the 2 life and throwing out Trail of Crumbs. And I think we're gonna be sneaky and draw our card here. Okay. Ouch, they're gonna burn us for another Gilded Goose from our hands, so that really hurts. We will grab a forest. So that burns. But all in all, our opponent's down to 4 cards in their hand. We're still doing alright. We have another Trail of Crumbs. I love to see that. So let's go ahead and use this to get black this turn. We'll go ahead and thin our deck and play that Trail of Crumbs. And right back to them. We'll be able to activate that twice next turn, even if they're using all their resources to hit us with Knight of the Ebon Legion. Oh, so while they stick on 2 lands, they do get a Dreadhorde Invasion. We're still in good shape. Alright, so we're absolutely playing our forest. Looks like... Yeah, I think we're gonna play Vraska, and I think destroy their knight. Probably the play to make here. I think that'll do it for us.
Go ahead.
So we could have got the Dreadhorde Invasion, but then they would be able to actually just attack and kill our Golgari Queen. We could have pumped it up, but this way we could pump it up next turn. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. Sacrifice one of these food tokens. And I love that Questing Beast play. So much. It's tempting to not even activate this the second time, and I think that's what I have to do. We're gonna get Questing Beast out this turn. And go ahead and put him to 15, so that's really gonna put the pressure on. Second Dreadhorde Invasion is gonna put the pressure on me. Alright, so we have a Castle Lochthwain, that is terrific. We're still in good shape. We're still in good shape. So I am... Yeah, we'll go ahead and... Almost makes sense to kill one of their Dreadhorde Invasions, but I think that We are just going to sacrifice our food. Go ahead and pay 2, generate the card advantage. And I think that we need Massacre Girl. There is no shortage of land in our hand. So at this point we have Murderous Rider. So we'll get in for another 4. We are going to throw out a Gilded Goose, and then once again we can surprise them with a Murderous Rider here. Rather a swift end to what will be their 4/4 zombie army token. I wanted to say zombie just to make sure I got that right. Yep, you got an army of scorpions. You got you got a bigger army of scorpions. You got it. And they are not even gonna go for it, but we will take the time to cut down their 4/4 here, and hopefully they can see the writing on the wall. I'm afraid that's probably gonna do it. Game is not over, but it's gonna be quite difficult to come back. Now I think we will. They're doing all this on 2 land with their silly scorpion army. So cut them in half there. It is time for Fiend Artisan. Go ahead and keep the untapped mana rolling here. Throw out our Murderous Rider. Alright, get in there for 4 and sit pretty comfortably. Feeling like they can't really touch us. They're just at 3. Yeah, if they don't play something that can block Questing Beast or destroy it somehow. Here they come. Alright, so we will go ahead and block it down. Go ahead and sacrifice a food token. May not even be necessary, but gonna really get further ahead with this tremendous card advantage. I think that I like the Witch's Oven at this point, and we'll go ahead and pay another green, grab another Murderous Rider, and that is gonna work out very well for us. Yeah, they will scoop it up with Questing Beast bearing down on them. So you know, that game wasn't typical with our opponent getting stuck on 2 lands. They actually did a very, very good job of dealing with that situation, and you know, we're still basically able to make the best of it and establish a threat. But we will go ahead and keep the train rolling here. See if we can't get another good one in. But after the bannings of Fires of Invention and Agent of Treachery, this is one deck that I feel like really obviously didn't lose anything. It didn't run Fires of Invention, didn't run Agent of Treachery, so it kind of remains unchanged. And because it is such a strong deck, runs such efficient cards and efficient combos, such as the Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven that we have in our opening hand here. Speaking of which, our opening hand is just fine. We have just 2 lands here, but with the Gilded Goose, you know, we're in great shape. We'll actually get started with Cauldron Familiar first. So we'll establish that initial beatdown. We have Gilded Goose and Witch's Oven next turn. As our opponent drops the plains, it's going to be life gain deck. No, I see a Shadow Spear. Oh my goodness. Alright, not too bad. So we'll go ahead and get our Gilded Goose out. We are going to be pretty fast with this Witch's Oven on turn 2. So again, they're already on the clock. And if we can draw a land, we can have Questing Beast next turn. If it comes into play untapped, we can be beating them even worse. This deck can come out very quickly, and it can be, again, attacking with Questing Beast on turn 3. Just another example of what is possible. Yep, you got all that. We're going to go ahead and continue to whittle them down. We do have a land. We do have Questing Beast. Times are good. Here we go. And I am fairly confident they're not going to block our Cauldron Familiar. I'm good with it if they want to, so we'll get in there for 5. Ouch. Alright, and they are going to gain a bunch of this life back. So we're going to work our combo. Continue to drain them. It's going to be tough for them to raise Questing Beast. They're going to have something better. We are getting into the range of being able to cast Casualties of War, which will be absolutely devastating in maybe a turn here. So this turn, it looks like we are going to get Fiend Artisan out and make a food token, and that's what's going to happen. But we'll go ahead and hit him for 4 more. So make sure we do this exactly right. Get that Fiend Artisan out. And pass it right back. Heliod, we meet again. And this is gonna get really ugly. Well, we are gonna kill that thing. So that is a start. We are not touching the rest of it. Okay, and as bad as this actually looks, it's really not. And the reason for that is if we draw a land, we are going to be able to cast Casualties of War, and we will destroy this board position and just kind of kill one of everything. It will be very bad. We did not get our land this turn, but we still have it for next turn. Our opponent's completely tapped out. And let me see what we can do. We can use our Fiend Artisan, which is most likely what is going to happen. So we're going to get in there for 5. We're losing the race as far as that goes. Just looking at, we can use our Fiend Artisan for a couple of different things. What should we get? Anything that costs up to 3. I guess what we want is to use our Fiend Artisan for 3. be sacrificing our Cauldron Familiar to go get Mayhem Devil. And this is gonna allow us to kill this Healer's Hawk. So we're gonna get one of them, and then that way, when we use Cauldron Casualties of War, we'll be able to kill the other one. Alright, so that was pretty slick. And in the meantime, we're at 17, they're at 11. We got the land advantage. They do have Heliod, but they need Devotion of 5, and they only have Devotion of 2. So we did a pretty good job there. Here comes trouble for sure. Yeah, that's Devotion of 4 by itself. Okie dokie. Unfortunately, we don't have Casualties of War next turn. Almost seems like the right thing to do to take the 9. Which I hate. I think I'm gonna do that this time. As much as I hate it, it's just really inconvenient to block, so we're gonna really take a beating. Fabled Passage. Okay, so again, because we don't have a food token, that is not gonna translate to us being able to cast Casualties of War next turn. But let's decide what we want to kill. So we definitely want to kill the creature with lifelink. Oh, maybe I should have killed the untapped one. I think that we are gonna continue to kill the Healer's Hawk. If we kill that Arcanus Owl, then his Heliod's not even a creature. Maybe that should be the move. A little late now. We should actually have already used our Fiend Artisan to get out a second Mayhem Devil, so that's alright. I'll learn how to play this deck while you guys watch. But we are going to end up busting them pretty well here. Even though we did not play this exactly correct. Maybe not even close. Alright, so we're going to turn off that Heliod. We do end up being able to swing through, and all of a sudden they're in real tough shape. Sugar, thank you. Yeah, that is absolutely something that I deal with, and I have it tends to be better as I lean back. You can't really, see transparency when I get in there. You kind of can. My eyes are very blue, so that I do accept that as a minor problem that I've had to deal with. Yep, and our opponent is just going to scoop them up as we're showing more than 6 points of damage. So nice little run that we're on here, and we will actually rank up. So gold tier 2 for the moment. And I think that I'm going to push our luck. We're going to go for another one. So I believe that is 3 in a row. Let's see if we can make it 4. Happy Sugar Waifu in the chat says, playing with Cancerous Jund, I see. Yes, this is all about post-ban standard and decks that survive without taking too much of a hit. In this case, Jund comes out completely unscathed. So we have, again, a pretty strong hand with our Gilded Goose on turn 1. We're going to have Trail of Crumbs and then Questing Beast. So that is going to be quite strong. Going first and swinging with that Questing Beast on turn 3, unless our opponent's able to do something about it. Just Watery Grave for now. So there's Trail of Crumbs. Alright, so we'll see if we walk right into some counter magic here. Pretty much got to go for it on their 2 mana. Nope. That is going to be a problem for them, I predict. Really already done its job hitting them once. Down to 12 they go. Alright, so we are going to plan on sacrificing that food token and grabbing a permanent card with Trail of Crumbs. Let's see how they respond. Okay. Interesting little card here. Yes, I am the opponent. I got it. Well, I think that we're gonna do that. You can see the land, or they can take the mystery card. And the mystery card is a pretty good one. They probably make the correct choice unless they were hurting on land. But go ahead and activate that. Grab our extra card. And that is pretty good. I think that we are gonna grab our Liliana. And this is gonna be a little bit of a setup turn for us. Unfortunately, they know that we have Liliana. And we'll go ahead and go Beanstalk Giant. It is going to be for a swamp. We are very close to casting Nicol Bolas or Liliana. Let's do Witch's Oven. We'll make our food token and get in there with Questing Beast. You got that. Let's see if they have some kind of mass removal. And to answer your question / just put it out there, Happy Sugar, it's kind of a blue green, so it kind of removes either. It is not a standard green screen. Does get the job done. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing right down to 8. Well, they have not countered anything yet. And we have enough for Liliana. Enough for Nicobolas. Alright, I actually think... Ugh, I feel bad if they counter that. Alright, I'm just gonna throw out this Cauldron Familiar. I am gonna sit here like they have a bunch of counter magic. If they don't do something, they lose this game, and they're gonna lose this game even if they do something. So it's my mistake if they don't have a bunch of counter magic. But if they just sit here and let me kill them, then that's fine. All right, and we are gonna be creating a food token. And we're going to generate some tremendous advantage right here as a result of having all this mana open. So this, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be the right play. Rabbit, sure, I'll take another Beanstalk Giant. Yeah, and they are dead next turn if they don't stop us somehow. So we'll go ahead and take our turn. See what they have up their sleeve. And land into play tapped is fine. So we'll go ahead and swing for 5. Like I said, we'll see what they have to say about it here. But if they just go to 1, they're gonna die to Cauldron Familiar. Okay, so we have a little bit of action here. Hey, thank you very much, Happy Sugar Waifu, for the follow. That is actually follower number 250, a fairly significant milestone, so I greatly appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the stream. And they are actually only going to take 1. However, we're going to make sure that they have a really bad time. I think that we're going to throw out Nicobolas. And that's going to allow us to use Trail of Crumbs again, which just sort of adds insult to injury. Now, they may counter it, but they're still at 5, and they do have it. They do have it. So we can't do anything about that. That's fine. We still have Liliana. We still have our whole combo working here with Cauldron Familiar. And we'll go ahead and add a second Trail of Crumbs so we can really fill our hand up and dig through our deck as they have low health. Glad to have you. Okay, and they are going to gain a little bit of it back. But just scoop it up, knowing that it's going to be too much to overcome, and that second Trail of Crumbs is coming. So we are able to put together a 4th consecutive victory, and I love to see that. So, I mean, this deck was already good. Obviously, the Fires of Invention just gave a little bit too much control. Yes, yes, thank you. The Fires of Invention just gave a little bit too much control, and obviously the Agent of Treachery was just a little bit too much nonsense. There were too many ways to cheat him into play, too many ways to get that effect a little bit too early, but this is still a very strong deck, again, with that Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven combo. I love Trail of Crumbs. Fiend Artisan is interesting. This is not anything that's in kind of the standard deck list. It's something that I'm kind of messing around with, and I'm still not even sure if I like it, but it does make for some creative plays. So you could even potentially have other silver bullets that you could grab with Fiend Artisan. The very versatile Murderous Rider, Mayhem Devil, still the all-star of the deck. You know, right on down the list, some of the heavy hitters here. So I do hope that everybody enjoyed this video. I want to thank everybody for watching here. I am Supervillain Gaming. I do stream every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights on Twitch, so I want to ask that everybody do take this time to subscribe right here on YouTube, and do follow me on Twitch if you want to see some more MTG Arena and particularly Marvel Strike Force videos. But that's all for now. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm Supervillain Gaming, and I look forward to seeing you next time.